Hello, and welcome back to Let's Talk Chicago Bears. I just realized, though, as I started this show, I've got my wrong sweatshirt on. I have my Army sweatshirt on. Oh well, it's the Christmas version, can you tell? Yeah. So I hope you're all doing good. 2 days before Christmas, one day before Christmas Eve, and one day before the Bears play the Buffalo Bills. And I understand it's freaking cold back home in Illinois. Oh my God. See, I personally don't like these games. I'm a weather person. I love snow and rain when I'm watching football, but the cold does nobody any advantages. Nobody's got an advantage here, especially because it's Buffalo. They're used to this shit. So, we're going to see. But, man, it's going to be cold. And if you go to that game, God bless you. You are a true Bears fan, because even if I had tickets, I don't think I'd go, which I probably wouldn't have bought them in the first place because it's Christmas Eve. But, well, then let's get to it. Let's start talking the Bears and the Bills, okay? So the Bears are 3-11, we know, and the Bills are 11-3. Yeah, kind of funny. Not really. And the Bills and the Bears have played 13 times, and the Bears have won 8 games, and Buffalo has won 5 games. And their first meeting was started in 1970. Kind of cool that we're actually beating a team in the record. That hasn't happened much. So let's get to some of the stats here, okay? So the Bears, again, this has not changed all year. The Bears passing, they're only passing an average of 137 yards, which puts them dead last. Buffalo is passing an average of 265, which puts them 5th in the league. We are still number 1 rushing. We have an average of 186 yards, so that puts us one. But Buffalo is not far behind. They're 134 yards a game, and that puts them 8th. We score about 20 points, 20.7. That puts us 19th in the league, and Buffalo scores an average of 27.5, which that puts them at 4th. Do you notice the pattern we got going here? The defense allows an average of 25 per game. That puts us 30th in the league. And Bills defense only allows 17.9, and that puts them 2nd. So in all 4 of these categories, they're in the top 10. We're screwed. Although, you know what's really funny is I was way more afraid of that Philadelphia game than I am the Bills game, and I don't know why. Because after some of the injuries I've seen, we are in trouble. But let's talk. Fields, we know, hasn't been passing a lot, but recently he started to. Let's hope they get out there and pass more. I don't know what below zero weather, what advantage, although it's supposed to be windy, I think. So if it's winding, passing isn't going to be that great. So really, whoever can run the ball most tomorrow, I think, has a chance to win this game. And it's really up in the air because we're both, and you're going to see some things about Allen that, So again, Fields has 2,048 yards to date passing. Josh Allen, their quarterback, has 3,857. Kicking his butt, okay. Fields has 1,000 yards rushing, as we know. Allen has 705, so he's a runner. So the Bears defense have got another running quarterback to deal with this week. Fields has thrown 15 passes with 10 interceptions. And Allen, 30 passes with 11 interceptions. So he's got a much better ratio than Fields. Fields has been sacked 47 times now. I thought it was 46. Huh. I swear to God, I thought it was 46, but 47 sounds scarier. And Josh Allen's been sacked 30 times. So, he's got a better offensive line, that's for sure. But he can run and he can fucking pass. So we're in trouble. But the thing about Josh Allen is he's got a hurt elbow, and he's been playing through it for weeks now. So with the cold, being the way it is, it could help us, although Justin Fields has a bad shoulder, so the cold could affect him too. See, again, I don't think the cold is going to be any advantage for either team. They're all going to be fucking freezing. Our running backs. Now, this is the one thing. Well, David has 694, and he's played 13 games, David Montgomery. Field still leads all our running backs with 1,000 yards, and David comes in second. Their leading running back is Singletary, and he has 684 yards rushing for the Bills. Now, Herbert, I swear I heard at the beginning of the week that he was practicing again. Khalil Herbert, number 24, a nice compliment to David. But I have not seen anything. So maybe you guys are seeing. I haven't seen he's been activated on the squad. So I was hoping he'd play tomorrow. And with him and David, they'd have a really good chance. But right now, Herbert's got 643 yards, and he's only played 10 games. So I don't know if he's playing tomorrow. I have not seen anything that says he is, which kind of sucks. It's going to hurt. And then their Bills' next leading running back, Cook, has 363 yards. Now, our wide receivers, it's going to be embarrassing, the comparison. But again, with Mr. Mooney being out and St. Brown being out, this is going to hurt. And so Clement, our tight end, still leads all wide receivers with 433. You don't like saying that, but that's just a fact of life. We don't have any good receivers, and Claypool's going to be out. St. Brown is out. That's going to hurt a lot because the rest of them pretty much suck. The Bills' we all know, is Stephon Diggs. He's got 1,299 yards. This guy can catch a ball. You throw it anywhere near Diggs, he's going to catch it. And you watch him play if they throw a lot. This is the kind of receiver we want as a Diggs, where he can go up and get anything. Then our next leading wide receiver is our running back, David Montgomery, with 282 yards, which is still not a good sign. And their next leading receiver is Davies, and he has 572 yards. So when Mooney went out, he had 493 yards. So, and then St. Brown at the time had 300 yards. So we're going to miss those two greatly because they've been the solids pretty much, if you can even call it solid, for Fields, right? So let's compare the defenses. So the Bears defense has 17 sacks. To the Bills' 37 sacks. So they can sack. Not as bad as Philadelphia, because Philadelphia went into that game with 49 sacks, and I thought they only got 6 on him, which is a lot. So, that puts them a lot. So the Bills are going to come after him because they know we have a shitty offensive line. The Bears have caused 11 interceptions. Buffalo Bills have 13 interceptions, so we're fairly even there. Forced fumbles on the Bears. They have 15 forced fumbles, and they've recovered 7 of them. I would like to see that number greatly increase, the recovery. And then the Bills have forced 10 fumbles with 9 recoveries, so they have a better ratio on that. The Bills' defense is 6th in the league, and the Bears' defense is 29th in the leagues. Oh boy, we're in trouble. But the Bills are missing 2 really good defensive players. Vaughn is out for the rest of the year, and Micah Hyde is out for the rest of the year. And those 2 are really good. So we'll see if that helps the Bears. The Bills have already clinched a playoff spot, but if they win tomorrow, they win their division. So they're coming to play. You know what? They're still coming to play. Every game matters to them right now. So I don't see them, like last week, people were saying, oh, maybe Philadelphia will overlook the Bears because they're playing this weekend Dallas, which is their rival, and they're playing because they're in the same division. So I don't really see Bills overlooking the Bears, but you never know. It would be nice. I feel they had a better chance winning this game tomorrow than they did last week. And we did play pretty well considering how good that defense is and that offense. So, but as you see, the Bills are tough too. All right. So we knew I told you many, many times these last four games are going to be tough, and it's going to be freaking cold. I mean, God bless anybody that goes. I don't know. I'll be shocked to see how many people are at that game. It's going to make me cold just watching it. I'm going to have to put pants on instead of shorts. So let's talk about the injuries. Claypool, as I said, is not going to play as a wide receiver. Jenkins and Whitehair are both out, which is desperately going to hurt the offensive line. I feel sorry for Fields again. St. Brown is out, our wide receiver, and Veldor, who is our safety in the backfield, is also out. So we've got some more major injuries again. The injury bug the last few weeks has really kicked us in the butt. So I don't know, because of these two guys being out on the offensive line, if they are even going to try to pass much. And again, with the weather, I don't know. So the Bears might be just sticking to the run, and I'm sure Buffalo is going to be doing the same thing. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they come out with. And I did look this up, and it's really weird. It was awful hard finding information on this little stat. I was wondering how many times the Bears had played on Christmas Eve, and I couldn't find much, I could find Christmas, but not Christmas Eve, which I thought was weird. But they've played 7 times, and they're 4-3. And the last time they played on Christmas Eve was in 2017, and they beat the Cleveland Browns 20-13. And this is when our running back was Jordan Howard, and Mitchell Trubisky was our quarterback. So it was a while ago. So that's really all I could find on the stats on Christmas Eve. But so we got a winning record, so you never know. And I do want to do a correction to my show, because I like to be as accurate as possible. I'm sure through the 3 years I've said something wrong. I only go by with all the investigating I do and try to get you. It's hard sometimes to get the honest truth on the internet. We all know that. But last week, on my show Monday, I really cut down Carlos Santos for missing that extra point, which I'm still pissed about. But that's not what I'm going to make my correction on. So my point was, it looked like, because he missed that extra point, when the Bears were on their, 30 or 37-yard line, they punted the ball. They did not go for a field goal. So I assumed, and you know what happens when you assume, you're wrong. And I was wrong. He had told the Bears coaches going into that game that side of the field, and maybe all afternoon, because the way the wind was whipping around, which, of course, the announcers didn't say it, the jerks. He told them he didn't think he could make it. So that's why. And then I started thinking about it, and I remember Philadelphia was on the other side of the field, or it might have been the same side of the field, and they went for it on 4th and 6 on their 30-yard line-ish, and they went for it on 4th down. They didn't kick the field goal either. So that does tell you, okay, that answers my question. So, Carlos, my apologies. I still don't like that you've missed 5 extra points. It still hurts. It cost us a game. We know that. So I'm not going to get on his case, but I hope you do better tomorrow. But so, there's not a lot to say here. I mean, it's going to be Christmas Eve. We're playing a very good team that have the opposite record. We're 3-11. They're 11-3, which wouldn't, next time this year, I hope we can be saying that about our Chicago Bears, right? Right. But it's going to be a tough game. Again, the Bears have been in a lot of games this year, and we know it. They've been in most of their games except for that frickin' fourth quarter. They just seem to disintegrate in that fourth quarter. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But if the Bears play error-free football, so let me talk about my top threes first. So I do this every show, every Friday. Penalties, time of possession, and turnovers. Now, last week they did pretty good in those areas, except for penalties, and they still lost. But time of penalties, 5 or less to be in the game or win it. You can't have more than 5. You shouldn't even have that much. But the Bears, I will say, have greatly improved in that area this year compared to years past. Time of possession, huge. Because why? Come on, everybody. If you watch my show regularly, you know what it is. Bears offense is on the field. The Bears' defense is not. It's resting. The Bills' offense is not on the field, able to score, but the Bills' defense is on the field, and you're wearing them out. So if you can, I mean, the Bears won by 1 point last week, so it didn't matter. But you got to win it handily. You want to run that ball and eat up the clock. That is just huge. Excuse me. Still a lingering cough from the RSV I had over a month ago. And then turnovers. Now, the Bears did wonderful last week. They had 3, but we only scored on 1 of the turnovers out of the 3 offensively. So if you're going to get at least 3 turnovers, you should at least score twice on those. Third would have been better, but we also had a fumble of our own, and that was Jones, number 12, the wide receiver and punt returner. This kid, I don't know. I think the Bears might give him another year because he's a rookie, but I got to tell you what, he's got a fumbling problem, and it has cost us a game in Dallas. Was it Dallas? Whatever game. You know what I'm talking about. And he fumbled again when we were moving down the field on a Sunday. So we can't have that. So in the olden days, where when I was young, we actually had to push the bus to school and push it back to school. We didn't ride in it. It was the olden days. Anyways, what they used to do, if you were a fumbler, coaches would make that running back when he wasn't practicing on the field, when he was walking around the facility, you had to carry the ball all the time. And anybody could come out at any time and punch it out. And if you punched it out, I think you had to, the days would continue. How many days you had to do this, or maybe you had a fine or whatever. So you never knew when somebody was going to punch it out. They had to hold it at lunchtime or secure it. And it taught some running backs not to fumble. So you got to work on this with Jones. Otherwise, he was supposed to be this great wide receiver, speedy and stuff out of Tennessee. I think we got ripped off. I think Tennessee lied. But maybe next year, if they give him another try, I say give him another try. He's probably on his rookie contract, probably isn't that huge. So I give him one more try, and if he sucks, you can always release him during the season. But if Fields has a good offensive line to give him time, maybe we can get Jones free more often and maybe some experience. He needs to work a lot in the offseason because we cannot have those fumbles. Cannot. So if we can win our top 3s, we have a chance. But the Bears, to win this game, bottom line is all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams, especially special teams, they have to be actually perfect. No errors whatsoever. And then Luke, our offensive coordinator, Luke doesn't get it. I mean, the guy sometimes calls some great plays, and then he calls the stupid-ass plays. Like, what Justin Fields has even said it. He has a real hard time throwing to his side behind the line of scrimmage, and he knows it. He's like, I got to work on that. So why do you keep calling it, Getsy? I don't get it. Don't call that play anymore. Justin said he can't do it. And you know what? I know this is the year to experiment, but work on that in the offseason, okay? So let's get the balls downfield. Let's get some good fakes. We know Justin, there's been a time where he has hidden it over here on his hip, and he do more of that. Send him out running. Throw on the run. That kind of stuff. Try to get that ball downfield. So we're going to see. And Luke doesn't get it. When you're down by the goal line, don't call stupid-ass plays. That's your biggest problem. You're so vanilla sometimes down there, it's just too obvious. So, just come on, mister. I don't get it. Please call a better game. I do like him, and I know a lot of people don't. And a lot of people want him gone. Personally, for just the continuity and the consistency for Fields, if they were to let him go, that next year would be the 3rd offensive coordinator in 3 years. And that's not good for a young rookie, a young player. He's not a rookie anymore. You need consistency. You don't have to start learning a whole new offense on your 3rd year when we're trying to go and make huge strides. So let's keep Luke, I don't get it, one more year. and see if he betters. He's actually a rookie offensive coordinator, too. So, to his defense, that's true, right? So, but come on, man. When you're down by the goal line, please don't throw behind the line of scrimmage. Throw towards the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Throw towards the end zone. And if you're doing sneaks, if we're close, use your running back, not your quarterback that has a bad shoulder, okay? I'm just saying. So, I'm just not going to do that much more of a show today. It's going to be short and sweet, like me. And you know what? Again, thank you all for watching. I really hope you all have a very Merry Christmas this year, and may 2023 be our year. Merry Christmas. And I knew that was a good treat, wasn't it? My first calling is singing, and I'm terrible at it, but I love doing it. So if the Bears win on Sunday and Monday, you get the victory song. Okay, guys, have a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. Be kind to one another. If you see somebody having a hard time, this is a hard time of the year. It's so stressful around Christmas, and I can contest to that. It's always very hard for me this time of year ever since I lost my husband. Here, I'm not going to do a big, let's do a pity party, but it's tough. It is very tough. I've been very emotional this month. So, but really, happy holidays. Love one another. I hope Santa Claus is good to everyone, and let's hope Santa Claus is good to the Bears fans and bring us a home of victory. Come on, Santa. It won't be that hard to do that. And anybody going to the game, please dress warm, drink a lot of water because you can get very dehydrated in cold. Just saying. So, on that note, seriously, I love you all, my subscribers. If you like my show, hit like and subscribe. Tell everybody. I do a show. I will do a show. I think we're doing it next Thursday, not next Wednesday. I do a show. Don't forget that. I do a live podcast, which you could also catch it in recording. It's on my buddy's. His tag is Bears Country Podcast, and our show title is The Download with Dan and Lynn. And we've been having a lot of fun. And one other thing, everybody's kind of in a Christmas sharing and giving. Everybody's a little more generous, so I'm going to throw this out here. My friend Dan is starting a GoFundMe page. I mentioned this before for our buddy in England, Chris Watts. He is a huge Bears fan, been since the '85 Bears. He listens to my show. He watches Dan's show. He watches our The Lowdown with Dan and Lynn show, and he was actually 2 weeks ago on the show. It was great. And so Dan is trying to raise money to fly him over to the United States to Chicago to a Bears game in 2023. Dan can get the tickets. That's not a problem. So, you know what? Throw a 20 in there. You know, a 10, 20, 25, 30, whatever. I know you don't know, guy, but go to GoFundMe and type in Chris, C-H-R-I-S, Watts, W-A-T-T-S. Check out his story, and maybe you'll throw something in there. That's all. I mean, I know he's not sick, and that's what GoFundMes are, or this, that, but why not do that? And I'm telling you, if we get Chris Watts there, I'm going to reach out to the Bears organization, and they're going to make a big deal about it. That's right. All right, my friends. So, Merry Christmas. Happy holiday. I'll see you Monday. Hopefully it'll be Victory Monday. Go Bears! And as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby.